Go back to the forecast. Brad joining me now talking about some storms. Obviously, we saw an EF3 tornado earlier today.
Yeah, pretty amazing to see that in the month of July. I
Yeah.
mean, that is pretty rare for the Carolinas. Tomorrow, we're hopefully not going to see anything that severe, but we are watching that potential for tomorrow afternoon. Isolated storms, really strong storms tomorrow afternoon. The good news is, I think a lot of these are going to bypass our region. I'll show you why in a minute. Warm and humid through basically Friday, but then a cooler weekend, and yes, lower rain chances. Tonight, there are a couple isolated showers developing in the Midlands of South Carolina from Columbia up to Kershaw County, just south of Lancaster County line into Chesterfield. These are all drifting off towards the southeast, so heading towards the PD region and eventually towards the Grand Strand. Across our region, relatively dry right now, but the area I'm watching is right here. This is where our system is developing here. Southern Illinois, the boot heel of Missouri into western Kentucky and Tennessee. That's where we had some epic rains this morning in Mayfield, Kentucky. Over almost a foot of rain in just about 6 hours. There's a little disturbance there, and you actually see the new storms popping up already, the cooler cloud tops there. That'll be diving to the southeast. The question is, will the fuel be here for the storm? So temperatures right now, upper 70s in many locations, a few spots near 80. We do have some higher dew points, but by tomorrow, I expect we will have enough energy for some gusty winds. That's going to be our primary concern, along with some flash flooding. But there are signals that maybe the worst will pass to our southeast. I'll show you why. We'll go through the overnight hours on Futurecast. Some clouds move in. So we see a cluster of showers. By mid-afternoon, if the clouds move in like this would put a cap on some of the thunderstorm fuel and allow for those storms to form much further to the southeast. Either way, it does look like the chance of rain should be highest right around midday into mid-afternoon and then tail off after that. That disturbance starting up in western Kentucky dives down here. Notice how it begins to break up a little bit, and then we see bigger storms form to the south and east of us. So overall, the coverage is going to be pretty scattered throughout the day. I'll show you a closer look at that. Sunshine in the morning certainly would allow for some of these storms to develop in the afternoon, but notice we don't see a whole lot developing in our area. Overall, it looks like most areas will be dry. It's just one of those days where you may not see a ton of storms, but maybe about half the ones that develop could be strong to severe. It's certainly our best chance of rain. Could use some rain in a few spots. Don't want to see flooding or severe weather, but it would be nice to get some soaking rains for some of those gardens and lawns out there, as we've been very hot and dry here for most of July. Now, as we look out west, that big heat dome over the middle of the country, pretty much everybody is seeing above average temperatures, and that's going to be spreading into the Carolinas as we get a brief cool down this weekend, but we're right back to the heat for most of next week, which will keep the trend of hot weather here in July going. So tomorrow, upper 80s. Again, expect a scattered shower or thunderstorm. One or two could be severe. Stay aware of the possibility of one of those becoming severe tomorrow. But the weekend, look ahead to that. Look at that. Upper 80s, not too bad. Temperatures will be at the upper 80s and just a 20% chance of rain. By far the coolest weather we've seen in a while on your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. But you start to see the hints of rising temperatures next week. Let's go 10 days into the future. And you can see by the middle and end of next week, those temperatures are right back into the low and yes, the mid and possibly upper 90s.